Welcome to Richmond Rising. I'm here on Main Street, Richmond, in downtown Richmond. We're going to be talking to Roxie Deer of Richmond Neighborhood Restoration and take a look at the secret building and the great work they've done to it in downtown.
Hey, Josh.
Hey, Roxie. Thanks for having us here at the secret building today.
Yeah, we're so excited to show you off. You want to get a tour of the building?
Yeah, let's go in.
Let you go first. So here, you're welcome to our apartments. These are brand new, renovated apartments right above Secret Ingredient. And we have 4 of them, plus a really cool office space. So before we even started, these were old storefronts, they were art studios, and the space had just kind of fallen apart. It was old, it looked old. And so we've brought in some really cool contractors and really given them an update and a place that is sexy. People want to live here.
Yeah, I love this like huge kitchen with the windows. There's so much light and the ceilings are...
And Ginger Gray has done all the design work. She's picked out all the colors. You can see we're in a construction space where our ranges arrived today. So I thought we'd give you a tour and let you see what the apartments look like.
Okay, great, thank you.
Okay, well, let's go on in. All right, so let me give you a tour of our 1-bedroom apartment. We have 1-bedroom and 2-bedroom apartments here. So this was staged by Natalie Scripture. The big thing for us is we know people need big closet spaces. So check out this huge closet and all the room it has. You can see we've even started putting stuff in here, decorations, things like that, but room for everything that you could want. This is really important to us, is that there's space for people to actually live in the apartments. You can see the updated bathrooms in here. They're beautiful with new fixtures, everything we love. We try to keep a very modern and almost a masculine look to the property, so it's accommodating for everyone.
Great.
Yeah. So as you know, our apartments are ideally they're for young professionals, maybe starting their career. They're going to be here for a short period of time. And this is, as we know, Richmond has a lot of people using Richmond as a stepping stool to their next career move. So that's who we're trying to attract to these apartments. People who maybe aren't ready to invest in a house, but looking for something that they can stay in for a couple of years before their next big move.
And these are market rate apartments?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're really hopeful that whoever chooses to live here will be able to utilize the local amenities as well. We've got Elstrode Plaza, half a block that direction. We've got the Depot District, 2 blocks in that direction, plus all of the downtown amenities.
This is great. This is beautiful work that Richmond Neighborhood Restoration was able to do to, you said it's like storage space. And
yeah, there was a really cool, back in the 40s, a boot store here. As we know, there was an artist studio at some point in this building, and you can see in all the old pictures the work that's been done and the construction that's had to happen to make these apartments possible.
That's great. Can you show me?
Yeah, so one of the really cool pieces is that we were able to build in an office space as well here. And so I thought I could show you the cool office space that we have. So you can see this office space will make a great home to any small entrepreneur or nonprofit that wants it. It has these gorgeous windows that show out downtown Richmond. Think about the parades that happen downtown, the different things that you'll be able to witness a part of Richmond's history right here in this. And we made sure that the bathrooms were all updated and again, sexy, because that's what people want when they think about their properties. And so right now we have some Halloween storage in there, but lots of really fun things happening down here. Yeah.
Very nice, thank you.
Do you want to check out the 2-room apartment?
Yeah, there's another apartment here.
There's 4 apartments total. We've got lots of space in this building.
Yeah, let's see it.
Yeah. So this is our 2-bedroom apartment. You'll notice it has a really long hallway. That's because this building is much like all of the old buildings downtown. It's very long. But this is a really cool apartment because it has 2 bedrooms, 2 full baths. So you can see here this bedroom has a great window, but also has a full bath in it for the resident to have, and a little bit of privacy too. So if you wanted to have a roommate here, this would be a great apartment for that.
Wow. Yeah, it's, you know, amenities like this you don't expect in a building quite this age.
Yeah, this old. And we've been, again, great closet space, great, you know, just someplace that is neutral that you can come in and make your own, but also it's safe, it's secure, and it's beautiful. Yeah, let's check out the others, and I'll show you what I'm really excited about in these apartments. As we walk by, you'll see the other full bath and other bedroom here. Again, a great window with natural light. And you can see this hallway is, like I said, really long, which we're excited about. But the coolest part, and what we thought was really interesting, is every apartment has in-unit washer and dryer. Nobody wants to be schlepping their clothes to the laundromat back and forth, back and forth. You can do it right here. Big towns, big cities, this doesn't happen. As we walk in here, you'll see that we're still under construction. We've got ranges everywhere, microwaves still out, but you'll notice that this kitchen has, just like the other one, great space. You can have a huge dining room table here if you wanted, workspace, couches, TV, wherever you wanted. And you can see parts of downtown too.
Wow. Yeah, this is a really wonderful place to call your own.
Yeah. I love the natural light in all of these apartments, and just that they're very crisp and clean. Yeah. My favorite apartment though is upstairs. Do you want to check that one out?
Yeah, let's go see.
All right. So now we're on the 3rd floor, and this is my favorite apartment. Any guesses why?
Wow. Well, that view
exactly
is great, and these floors.
Yes. Now they're a little dirty because of the ranges again, but these are the original hardwood floors to the apartment, and we were able to salvage them in this apartment only, but it's just beautiful. Again, we have in-unit washer and dryer, and a great space to live, an incredible view, and a great kitchen.
Wow, yeah. I love how open it is, you know, how big it really feels.
Yeah, I love it. And again, full bathroom, the single bedroom.
This is great. Can we check out the other side?
Yeah, absolutely. It's another single bedroom apartment. Doesn't have the original floors, but is just as cool. It's a mirror image of the one we just looked at. Again, incredible views. If you grew up in Richmond, you remember Beaches. We're directly across from where Beaches used to be. It was really important to us that every unit not only have in-unit washer and dryer, but the appliances as well. We didn't want to put that back on the renter, so we included those in our purchase as well.
Wow, this is wonderful, Roxie. I want to talk to you a little more about Richmond Neighborhood Restoration and the work here, but could you just real quickly talk about the process and what went into remodeling this space?
Yeah, absolutely. So when we purchased the building and had the donations made, we started working with the Redevelopment Commission to get the funding. We brought in an incredible architect who kind of laid it all out for us. This apartment had a beautiful skylight. It was one of the things we weren't able to save, and we have to make decisions like that on every project. But other things like, you know, where are the bathrooms going to go? Where are the bedrooms going to go? Do they have windows in the bedrooms? That was a big issue here. So we had to put windows in buildings that never had windows on those walls. So making sure the building's structurally sound. Also making sure it has an updated infrastructure. So, a new water main, roof, the foundation's strong. Those are all things that we have to check into when we remodel a project. And it takes a lot of work to pull something like this off and a lot of money to do it.
Well, they look great in here. I can't imagine like the roof and the infrastructure and all of that that we don't actually get to see.
Yeah, all the behind the scenes. Something we've learned is that when you're dealing with a building built in the 1800s, it's never perfect. And I could come in here every single day and start working on the different piece, but we have to get them livable, safe, and livable. And once we're able to do that, then we can start nitpicking at the other things and improving things as we go. And now this building's not going to fall down and be torn down or be at risk for being torn down, but now it will save into the next generation, and then they can make the updates as they go, and we'll continue to have a vibrant downtown.
Well, great. Thank you so much for showing us these apartments.
And thanks for checking them out. We're always excited to get people in our projects. If anybody's interested in renting these apartments, of course it goes back to the city, so they'll reach out to you actually to manage the getting it into the apartments.
Well, great. Well, let's go back to that first apartment and sit down and talk a little more about Richmond Neighborhood Restoration and the work here at the Secret Building.
Absolutely. Let's head down there.
Richmond Sanitary District curbside service in your neighborhood. Know the dings. Bag trash goes into your green rosy roller. Regular route drivers do not get out of their trucks to pick up bags and items left beside your green rosy roller. If you have larger items that do not fit in your green rosy roller, please call to schedule a special pickup, 765-983-7450. Clean, loose, unbagged recyclables go in your blue Ritchie roller. Plastic bottles and jugs, aluminum and steel cans, glass bottles and jars with lids removed. Newspaper, chipboard, like cereal boxes and magazines, should be placed on top of the blue Ritchie roller tied. Corrugated cardboard has the wavy layers. It must be clean, no pizza grease, folded and broken down to slide easily out of the container when picked up to be emptied by the truck. Questions on the curbside containers? Please call Debbie Tevis at 765-983-7456. Richmond Sanitary District. Our goal is to grow.
All right, we're here in the second story apartment of the Secret Project in the 700 block of East Main with Roxie Deer.
Hey, how are you?
Good, good. Thank you for showing off this building and these apartments.
Isn't it so cool to see these buildings come back to life?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just imagining this really being a living space and having people living in this part of the city.
Yeah.
You know, even more people living down here.
The impact, I think when I first saw these apartments, when I started with R&R, it was the potential that this has to bring people down here, to have them working down here, if they're working from home and remote workers, or if they're working in one of our large businesses or small businesses even, but then they come home at nighttime and they want to grab a cup of coffee or a nice dinner, or they want to go get ice cream. You know, they're walking distance to all of those great places that Richmond has to offer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Richmond R&R's experience in remodeling
Yes.
our homes has really, shown itself here. Could you talk a little bit about that and what R&R does on this property and other properties throughout the city?
Yeah, so Richmond Neighborhood Restoration, or R&R as most people call it, is a 501c3 that started about 5 years ago in our community. It was a group of investors that got together. They found a house that they thought it would be really cool to remodel. They remodeled it and sold it and realized they had enough money to move on to the second house. And in that process, they formed this 501c3 because they were able to access dollars that hadn't been accessed in our community before for this type of work. So my board of directors, which is incredible, Dave Jetmore, Sean Dingworth, Gail Connerly, Jason Troutwine, Ginger Gray, Bob Farrell, Eric Eastman, along with JP Hall, they've formed this group and they're doing great work. And then we moved into my role being created, and the work has just started. This is project number 6 for us. We have a residential unit as well in progress, and our goal is to keep working on homes and downtown businesses at the same time. Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
That sounds great. And you use volunteers from the community
We do.
as well as local contractors?
Yeah, so all of the work that we do is we try to reduce costs as much as possible. As a 501c3, we do have to raise money for all the work. So anything we can get donated or we can find skilled trades to do, we'll do that. So we have an incredible volunteer base. They get together every Saturday and they work on a project. And we're also investing in training our volunteers the skills that they need, or sending them places where they can get the training that they need as well. So we're partnering with groups like Women's Workshop Richmond to learn more skills and to train our volunteers. But that volunteer group, they do everything from flooring and painting to drywall installation. They've done great work with cleaning out some of the properties. You wouldn't believe the condition we find some of these properties, and they'll spend weeks clearing out the garbage that we find. And that's really kind of fun for them. They get to see the before and after, and they're in there more than anybody else. So we love our volunteers. But sometimes projects are a little bit bigger than what our volunteers can do or have time for. Our volunteers probably aren't going to be installing water mains. So we hire some really incredible contractors and keep them as local as we possibly can. The work you've seen here at the Secret Building was done by Wiesenhunt Construction. They did the majority of the work here. And they did everything from helping us plan all the way through to the final touches. They're helping us, get the building final for sale.
That's great. That's great.
We love working with our local contractors.
So the Secret Building, could you talk a little bit about how you came onto this project, how Richmond Neighborhood Restoration came to be working here?
Yeah, so many of the audience tonight watching probably remember Secret Ingredient, the boutique that was here. It was a high-end boutique that was open for many, many years in downtown Richmond. This was also King's, which was a male store for men. And when Jeannie Rush, the owner of Secret, decided to close her doors, she offered Secret Ingredient, the building, to R&R, and we purchased it from her, and she made a large donation back to the organization to be able to do the work down here. When we purchased this building, we started working with the City of Richmond and the PLACE program, which we'll talk about the PLACE program in just a minute, but our biggest partners in this are the Redevelopment Commission, the Economic Growth Group, and the City of Richmond. They've all been partners in how this building came to be.
And you mentioned the PLACE program.
Yeah.
That's a program that will turn the building over to a entrepreneur.
Yes. So the city's PLACE program, essentially what we complete the second and third floor, the residential areas, and then the city will find an entrepreneur for the first floor. So you didn't see the first floor on our tour because nothing has been done to it since we purchased the building. But they will have the chance to come in and create whatever business they want in that storefront. And they will manage the apartments and receive the rent from those to help cover the cost of the building. And it's a low income mortgage, essentially, or a low level mortgage rate for the first 5 years, and then, so they can help establish their business, get it up and running, and then after the 5 years, they will own the building and the rent that comes from the apartments.
That's great.
Yeah.
It kind of gives them a larger, strip to take off from and grow their business.
Exactly.
While, and I believe some of that mortgage goes back to the revolving loan fund.
Yes, which helps pay for the next project.
For the next project.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's an exciting partnership.
Yeah, and think
here
about
in downtown.
the long-term impact that has with the business. Not only are they here for 5 years and invested, but they're starting to create an income, and they're bringing people down to downtown. They may even potentially be living down here above their building, and they will continue to work down here. And then in 5 years, they'll own the property, be invested in the area, and want to continue to work towards making the downtown even better.
That's great.
Yeah.
And there's two storefronts, the former King's and the former Secret Ingredient.
Yes.
So there's the potential for two
storefronts. They can be combined into one if you wanted. There's really great potential down there.
And we also have that office
that you saw
showed.
on the tour.
So
a small business, small entrepreneur that just needs an office workspace, that's a great space for them.
Yeah, so that's potentially 3 businesses here
Yes.
in this building, as well as the people living in the apartment.
Yes.
So
Yeah, we're hopeful that the businesses that are here will attract more businesses to come down here. They'll become spokespeople for downtown Richmond, megaphones for how great our community really is.
that's great. And I know before you started on this project, R&R has focused on housing,
Yeah.
Especially in the Linden Hill neighborhood and
Yes.
that part of town.
Yeah.
That has also brought people into that neighborhood from outside the city.
Yeah.
Could you talk about some of your past home projects and maybe
Yeah.
a future one?
Yeah, so we have 5 residential projects we've completed. All 5 projects, one's in the works right now. The 4 that have been completed have all brought people in from outside of Richmond into the city. So they may have lived in the county. Most have lived out of town or out of county, Indianapolis, Cincinnati. They've moved here and made Richmond their home. And what we're finding is it's easier to market these historic homes to outside the community because people are looking to live in historic homes, but they can't find them at the quality that the Richmond houses are for the price that they are. So we have a really unique area to market, and we're finding great success in that. And what that does, bringing in a new family to a house that's set empty, one, they're putting their children into our school systems, they're working for our local businesses, but the property is now, we're collecting property tax on it. So that helps out the city. And then you think about the investment these families make. So just recently, 2009 East Main Street was our last completed house. The family that moved in there, they've had a job change, they're moving again. The house has increased in value since we completed it, and the house is selling for even more money now. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's that long-term impact that we have, and taking a house that's set completely empty and dilapidated for years. The house on East Main we have now was rated the ugliest house in Wayne County at one point, and now it's beautiful, and somebody will want to live there. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a ranking that
It
that
was
people
back in the
had.
90s.
Yeah.
We find these houses in incredibly bad shape when we purchase them.
That's great. Was there anything else you wanted to talk about your work of R&R?
Yeah, we are invested in downtown Richmond. I think over the next 5 years, we plan to be down here just as much as we are doing residential properties. We've already started scouting out our next locations, and we're working with some big partners to bring that to light. We're starting to see a lot of energy behind our organization, and for many years they were doing the work, but people didn't really understand it, and now people are going, oh, that's that group that's remodeling and bringing people into the community. So we're always excited to have new volunteers, new donors. If people want a tour of our property or to learn more, they can always visit our website, they can check out our social media. We're always excited to chat with you about housing in the community.
Yeah, no, you guys are doing wonderful work, and it's exciting to see that sort of reinvestment and into our neighborhoods and into our downtown neighborhood.
Yeah, the average improvement cost for one of these properties is around $140,000 per property. So think about what that does to that neighborhood. When the house that's sat empty next to you for 20 years, all of a sudden has an investment in it. You start to take care of your yard. You start to paint your house. We're seeing the neighbors starting to clean up their act as well.
That's great. Yeah. Great. Well, thank you for joining us and
Thanks for having
giving
me.
us a tour of this wonderful building and talking about R&R today.
Thank you for having me. This has been great.
Thanks, Roxie. And this has been Richmond Rising in the Secret Building.